Hi Curly World, and welcome back to my channel. This video will be a complete formal hair get ready with me, including makeup. This is the final look. It will include finger coils, side twists, lock jewelry, and an upscale pineapple do. So let's get started. So here I already started parting my hair on day 5 of the wash and go. I didn't have time to rewash my hair, so I really just had to part it, detangle it. So here's my process. Alright, here we go. So I wet the top section of my hair. I'm going to apply gel to the entire section. Before I did that, I did comb it out thoroughly and use Righteous Roots Prepoo Kids Detangler so that I can get it thoroughly detangled. And now I parted a little section with a comb, and what I'm going to do is comb it through. Well, not all the way through. See, I'm using the comb as a guide. For me, it's best to finger coil in tiny little sections, and the easiest way for me to do that is to put the comb through and just use the little pieces of hair that are in between each tooth. That gives me the perfect size finger coil. This way, later on, I don't have to do that much separating, and they don't all clump together later on in the evening. Just be sure to make sure your hair is really wet. It allows for better slip. Now, if you're doing this on a fresh wash and go, I would definitely recommend using a leave-in conditioner first, then applying your gel, and using an oil of your choice. Of course, my choice is always Righteous Roots oils. This way, you can get a shiny, perfectly defined finger coil that will last for days. Sometimes if I finger coil huge sections, I get this big Shirley Temple curl that is not exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to part another row of the front bang, and I'm going to do the same exact process. I'm going to make sure it's fully wet, add a little bit more styling gel, and make sure that's thoroughly worked from the root down so that I can get a nice, even, neat coil. And again, I'm putting the comb through it and just taking little bits of hair that is in between each tooth and twirling. So I'm going to keep twirling in small sections, and then I'm going to do one row behind this section and then on both sides of my hair. I'm going to speed it up a little bit more so it doesn't take forever, but I wanted to do it slow enough so that you can see exactly what I'm doing as I finger coil. When I get to the end, I can let go of the comb and just take the last two pieces and twirl. One more tip, when you're finger coiling, you want to make sure that you turn your hair in the same direction for all your head. This way your curls look even and in harmony. Also, after each row is completed, be sure to scrunch it up a little bit. This way the curl can start forming. Okay, so you're basically repeating the finger coil on each side and just scrunching up just like that. I just did the other side and just scrunch it up. Now I'm all done. The bang area is the only area that I wanted to finger coil because I didn't have time to do the whole head. So now I'm just taking my Curly Co diffuser and drying it, hoping for the best. So far so good. The curls are forming, it's drying nicely, a small cast is being formed, which is something that you will want because you want your finger coils to last for the evening. So the gel will form a cast around it so that it can last actually for days, in fact. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish drying up the front bang area. And I should apologize for chewing gum throughout this video. I should have spit it out because I look like a cow chewing the entire time. So I apologize in advance. Now back to the hairstyle. So the front bangs are dry. I sectioned off a little square on the sides of my head. And I have them pinned in front of my face, as you can see, with that big old clip. And now I'm just trying to fluff up the pineapple part. My hair is so thin that I don't have a huge pineapple, but I did what I could. So I needed to get it up and out of the way so that I can start the side twists and be able to wrap them around the pineapple. So now I'm working with these side areas. Again, I'm working on hair that's 5 days after washing, so it's a bit tangled. So I'm using the Righteous Roots Prepoo Detangler just to get through the tangles. And as you can see, it slides right through. Alright, so I'm going to make 3 parts so that I can twist the hair just like that. And you want to twist it as tightly as possible so that you can wrap it around the crown of your head. And I'm just using some basic bobby pins to secure it. So I'm just going to repeat the same process 2 more times to form a little design. I'm going to part the hair, be very extra special careful not to disrupt the front finger coils. You don't want to disrupt that. So you just twist the hair all the way down so that you can wrap it around the crown and you'll start forming a little design. It's hard to see in the back, but you can kind of guide it with your fingers. As you can see there, I'm getting a little bit of a design. And again, just fastening it with 2 or 3 bobby pins. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Thoroughly wet the area, detangle using the Prepoo detangler or an oil of your choice, and then make 3 twists to wrap around and form a crisscross design in the back. Alright, almost done. Just get those twists securely fastened with some bobby pins. Make sure they're up there and tight so that they don't fall down while you're dancing and having a great time. Once you're done, you can go ahead and fluff up your pineapple, making sure it cascades the way you want. That was the best I can do for now. I picked it out a little bit, but here comes the fun part. I bought some gold lock jewelry from my local beauty supply store, and now I'm just going to fasten it to each twist. How much fun is that? These little lock jewels are so pretty and add elegance to any updo, and they're lots of fun. Super easy too. You just have to open it up. You see there? It opens. Be sure to be gentle because they are thin. You don't want to break it. And then you just clasp it onto your twist. You can make whatever design you want. Trying to make sure it's even on both sides because I love symmetry. And that's it. Alright. Now that that's all nicely in place and my finger coils are completely dry, I'm going to use my Righteous Roots Hair RX this time to separate any coils that might have clumped together, to stretch them out, break the cast a little bit, pick it out, and make sure the bang area is completely the way I want it to look. Make sure if you do pick at it, it's just at the root and never comb the pick straight through. You will ruin your finger coils. Look at that little curl. Isn't it adorable? OMG. I just had to highlight that. But seriously, make sure your hands are covered in oil if you're going to separate any of your finger coils. And voila. Pick, fluff, and make sure it's perfect. Looking good. And now, time for some makeup. Alright, so I'm starting on freshly washed skin that has all my skincare applied, and I'm going to use the e.l.f. eyelid primer. This is so that my eyeshadow can stay on all night. I'm going to put it all over my lid, and as you can see there, even cover the bottom lash line so that when I apply shadow later, it will stay in that area. I'm starting with Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy eyeshadow to brighten the inner corners of my eyes. I'll be using some pretty vibrant colors in this look, so I need the inner corners to be pretty bright and eye-opening. Now I'm going to wet my brush so that I can really get my eyeshadow to stick. I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics Smoky Eye Palette and go into this bright blue. Wetting the brush really works when it comes to getting the eyeshadow to stay on all night. Now I'm going to use a transition color. I'm going to use this color in the crease of my eye. Having a transition color really helps any highlight that you put under your brow to blend perfectly into whatever color you're using on your lid. Now I'm going to use a shade of green that's going to help transition the bright blue into a darker green and really blend it together to look like almost one blended color. So this is a lighter shade of green that I'm going to put in my crease. Then I'm going to use a darker shade of green, as you can see there, and I'm going to put on the outer corner just to add some nice contour to this. Again, because these colors are so vibrant, you really want to make sure that you are blending them together. And now for the eyeliner. I use L'Oreal Voluminous Smoldering Black Pencil on my waterline. That really gives for a truly smoldering eye look. I use my eyeliner brush, go into that same dark green, and now I'm going to set my eyeliner pencil with this dark green color. This helps the eyeliner to last longer, really get set in, and again make the eye pop because of that nice green on the bottom. Be sure to blend the lower lash line with the... Alright, now that the blues and greens have blended together, I'm just going to go into that transition color one more time, make sure it's blended into the blues and greens, and then I'm going to go back into that inner corner with my Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy and make those inner corners pop. So because eyeshadow can have tons of fallout, I'm going to use a face primer and a liquid bronzer to help to remove some of that green eyeshadow fallout. As you can see, it's all smudged in. Now you can use a face wipe to get it off, but then you'd have to reapply your moisturizer, and well, I was just too much in a hurry for that. So I just take the primer and blend it in, and I get a 2-in-1 use out of it. I get my face primer applied, and it takes off all that green fallout. Now I'm going to add just a little bit more eye cream. I use my Shea Moisture Youth Infusion Eye Cream, and that's going to help to keep my under eyes moist. Because now it's time to conceal. So I'm going to use my NYX Dark Circle Color Corrector, and I'm going to cover the under eye portion of my eye to give a brighter look. I'm also, as you can see, going to dab it onto any blemish scars I may have from recent breakouts. Now I'm going to use my Age Rewind by Maybelline concealer over the dark color corrector. This has like a spongy tip, so I'm just going to dab it under the eye and onto the area. Alright, so just a little dab on a brush. That's it. I use Shea Moisture Weightless Serum Foundation. I dab it into the areas that need a little bit more coverage, and then I brush it onto my skin and make sure that I am fully covered. But a little bit goes a long way. Using a brush like this with any foundation really makes sure to get the greatest coverage without looking fake or cakey. You want to make sure you get it worked in even on your neck, because you never want that line of demarcation where your neck is one color and your face is another. So make sure you blend it in, which is really the key to making your makeup look sharp. All right, so foundation is done. Now we're going to do a little bit of contour. I'm going to use the Nika K foundation stick in the color Almond, and I'm going to put it in the areas that I'm going to contour. Then I'm going to use the LA Girls contour stick, and I'm going to use it on my nose. This stick has a little more of a smaller point, so it's a little easier to do my nose with this one. Then I'm going to use the same LA Girls contour stick brand, but in a lighter color to start working in my highlight areas. There it goes. You want to highlight your lip area. The lighter colors go on the areas that you want to be a little more pouty. I'm going to do in between my brows. And I'm going to sharpen my contour with a highlight. Now it's time to blend, blend, blend. I use a beauty blender type sponge and blend it all that contour and highlight. Make sure you blend it in so it doesn't look like patches of dirt on your face. Alright, now let's set it. I'm going to use the banana powder from Ben Nye to set the highlight areas. And now I'm going into this little palette I found at Burlington. And I'm going to use the bronzer part to set the contour. Then I'm going to use the blush that reminds me of NARS Orgasm Blush. But this palette was only $2.99. Then I'm going to highlight underneath my brow using the NYX color corrector that I used under my eyes. I'm going to go in that same eyeshadow that I used to make my eyes pop. And I'm going to use that as a little bit of highlight for a little extra glitter on the sides of my face. And now it's time for eyeliner. I'm using a liquid liner from The Balm Cosmetics. I'm sorry I wasn't able to film it as best as I could. I really needed to look into the mirror, and getting a precise view wasn't easy to film. Sorry about that, but that's the finished look. And now for some mascara. I'm using Voluminous Mascara by L'Oreal and blue on top to give it a nice pop of color. I love that blue. I'm going to make sure I put it over the black mascara, and then I'm going to use it on the lower lash line to really make my eyes pop. And now for the lips. Something simple, something pale since my eyes are so bright. I'm going to use a pale pink. Then I'm going to go in with a pinky gloss for some shine. And voila! Nice pale lip. So I took the sunglasses down and voila! Fluffed up the pineapple, and this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me. I'm sorry there was a little background noise going on over here. It's loud in Philly. But this is how I look for the wedding I went to on Sunday. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe.